Title, POV. You're the last judge in a country where the law has been bought. Hook. Opening 30 seconds. It's 6:14 a.m. Your phone shows 47 missed calls. On your desk is a sealed envelope with no return address. Inside, a photograph of your daughter walking home from school yesterday. No note, no demands, just a photo. You already know what it means. Today's verdict could make you the most dangerous man in the country, or the last honest one left alive. World building. Every other judge has either retired early, reversed their rulings, or disappeared. You watch colleagues take the money, new cars for holidays, children in private schools. The system didn't collapse overnight. It rotted slowly, one sealed deal at a time. Now a $4.2 billion corruption case sits on your bench. The defendant owns 3 senators, 2 generals, and half the national media. His lawyers are the best money can buy, and his money can buy everything. Daily routine/tension build. Your morning routine now includes a security sweep of your car. Your wife thinks it's protocol. You haven't told her about the first envelope, the one 6 weeks ago with $800,000 in a numbered account and a single sentence. For your retirement, you burned it. You didn't tell anyone. On the way to court, you notice the same black SUV for the 3rd morning in a row. Escalation, the conflict. Day 3 of the trial. A key witness recants on the stand. Your clerk resigns without explanation. The prosecution's lead attorney asks for a private meeting and tells you, quietly, that even he has been approached. You're now the only person in the room who hasn't been offered something. That either means you're incorruptible or they're saving you for last. That evening, a man sits beside you on a park bench. He doesn't introduce himself. He tells you the account now has $3 million in it. He gives you 48 hours. Psychological layer, identity fracture. You think about your father, a civil servant who died with nothing, proud of everything. You think about the 200,000 people whose pension funds were emptied by this man on trial. You think about your daughter's photograph. Power has a smell. You've learned. It smells like a threat wrapped in courtesy. You spent 22 years building a reputation for one reason, so that this moment right now would mean something. The decision. You return to the courtroom. The room is full. Cameras, lawyers, men in the back rows you don't recognize, watching, not taking notes. You adjust your robe. The defendant meets your eyes for the first time. He smiles, barely, just enough, like a man who has never lost. You open the folder in front of you. You begin to read. Ending, unresolved tension. Guilty. The word lands like a stone in still water. The room erupts. Your clerk, the new one, is already on her phone. The black SUV is parked outside the courthouse. You know the appeal will be filed within the hour. You know your name is now on a different kind of list. You straighten your papers. You stand, because the law is only as alive as the last person willing to defend it. And today, that person sit at the bench. For now, the courtroom is full today. Every seat taken. Lawyers, journalists, men in expensive suits you have never seen before, but whose presence you feel like a hand on your shoulder. The defendant sits across the room in a charcoal suit that costs more than most people earn in a month. He doesn't look at you. Not yet. That confidence, the kind that has never been tested, radiates off him like heat. The prosecution begins. Documents are submitted. Numbers are read aloud. 200,000 pension accounts drained over 4 years. Families who worked their entire lives, handed nothing. You listen to every word. You have read every page of this case 17 times. You know it better than the lawyers presenting it. On the second day, the first witness takes the stand. He is a former accountant, mid-50s, sweating through his collar before he even sits down. He testified in the pre-trial hearings with precision, dates, amounts, wire transfers, account numbers. Everything documented. You remember his statement almost word for word. He opens his mouth and tells a completely different story. You watch him carefully. His eyes never once move to you. They drift left to the defendant's legal team. A small nod from one of the lawyers. Almost nothing. But you catch it. You have been watching courtrooms for 22 years, and you catch everything. The prosecution scrambles. Objections. Counter questions. The witness holds his new story like a shield. By the time he steps down, the case is a hole in it large enough to drive a verdict through. That evening, your lead clerk resigns. No explanation. An email, effective immediately. Her desk is cleared before you return from lunch. You sit in your empty chambers and stare at the wall. You think about the $800,000 offer, the burned document. You wonder how many people in this building received the same offer and didn't burn it. On the third day, the prosecution's senior attorney asks to see you privately. You meet in a side corridor. He leans close. His voice drops to almost nothing. He tells you he was approached last night, outside his home. A man he didn't recognize handed him an envelope and walked away. He didn't open it. He brought it to you instead. You look at him for a long moment. You tell him to go back in there and do his job. He nods, but his hands are shaking. That evening, a man sits beside you on a park bench 3 blocks from courthouse. You have never seen him before. He is heavy-set, well-dressed, completely calm. He doesn't introduce himself. He doesn't need to. He tells you the account now holds $3 million. He tells you no one needs to know. He tells you the appeal process alone will take 4 years. And by then the money will be so clean it will be untraceable. He gives you 48 hours. Then he stands and walks away. You sit on that bench for a long time after he leaves. The envelope sits between where the two of you were. You don't touch it. A couple walks past with a dog. A child on a bicycle. Ordinary life. Completely unaware of what just happened on this bench. You think about your father, a man who served 30 years in the civil courts, who retired with small pension, a wall of commendations, and a clear conscience, who told you once that the law is only worth what the people enforcing it are willing to sacrifice for it. You were 12 years old. You didn't fully understand it then. You understand it now. You go home. Your wife asks how your day was. You tell her fine. You eat dinner. You help your daughter with her homework. The same daughter whose photograph is now locked in your desk drawer at the office. You watch her laugh at something on television, and you feel the full weight of what the next 48 hours will cost. You don't sleep. At 3 a.m. you sit at your desk in the dark. The verdict document is in front of you and signed. The pen is in your hand. You have written verdicts for 22 years. Hundreds of them. This is the first time your hand has hesitated. Not because you don't know the answer, because you know exactly what the answer will cost. By the time morning comes, you have made your peace with it. You shower, you dress, you put on your robe, you check beneath your car. Habit now, like brushing your teeth. The black SUV is parked outside your building. You walk past it without breaking stride. The courtroom is packed. Standing room only. Press cameras line the back wall. The suited men from the gallery are back. More of them today. 8, maybe 10. You don't recognize any of them. You don't need to. You take your seat. The room falls silent. The defendant looks at you for the first time. Directly. And he smiles, just barely, just enough. The smile of a man who has bought his way out of every room he has ever been in. The smile of a man who has never once sat in a chair like his and felt what the person across from him was capable of. You open the folder in front of you. You adjust the microphone. You begin to read. The facts of this case are not in dispute. 214,000 pension accounts. $4.2 billion. For years, a deliberate, systematic, and documented criminal enterprise carried out at the highest levels of financial authority in this country. You pause. The room is so quiet you can hear the press cameras clicking. On the charge of financial fraud, in the first degree, guilty. On the charge of conspiracy, guilty. On the charge of obstruction of justice, guilty. The room erupts. You bring the gavel down once. Hard. The sound cuts through everything. You stand. You gather your papers. You do not look at the defendant. You do not look at the gallery. You do not look at the cameras. You walk out of the courtroom the same way you walked in, straight, steady, alone. Outside, the courthouse steps are bright with afternoon light. At the bottom, the black SUV is waiting, engine running. It has always been waiting. You always knew it would be. You stop at the top of the steps. The appeal will be filed within the hour. You know that. The men in that gallery are already on their phones. Your name is now on a list it will never come off of. You know that too. You begin to walk down the steps. Because the law is only as alive as the last person willing to stand in front of it. Today, that person was you. Tomorrow, that is a different